What is democracy? What do we mean when we say we live in a democratic system? When we try to imagine that we're free to elect our president, our senators, our authorities, those who will supposedly take care of us. Well, this seems like a new concept, like a modern concept. Indeed, it is in the sense in which general democracy is a modern idea. Now everybody can vote. Now everybody has the same rights. Everybody is equal under the law. However, the word democracy is very old. It comes indeed from the Greek language. Demos, as I mentioned, people. Kratos, power, the power of the people. But democracy in Greece was like our democracy today? No, it was very different. What they meant by demos was the group of free men. Those who owned properties, those who were not slaves, those were able to discuss in the assemblies and decide together the future of their collectivity, of their society. So it was a limited democracy. Slaves, for example, they couldn't participate in that process. Women were not allowed to vote, much less children, foreigners, and so on. So it was a limited democracy. However, it served as a good example of a communal process of decision-making. That's the key concept of democracy that has prevailed during more than 2,500 years. One of the important implementers, one of the conceivers of democracy as an idea system was Pericles, the guy who is very much remembered for being the great statesman of the 5th century. He lived between the years 1495 to 1429 BC in what is called the Athenian Golden Age. Thanks to his administration, Athens became the most important city, the most powerful, and also the most cultured, the most artistic, the city that would become the paradigm of civilization in the ancient world. Pericles was a statesman, was a soldier, was also a thinker. He designed democracy more than invented it. He designed it in the way we know it in current studies today. But democracy existed in other cities of Greece. It was the prevailing system as opposed to monarchy, for example, or as opposed to aristocracy. No? Monarchy, the power of one single person; aristocracy, the power of the best ones. However, those systems also existed, and indeed, they lasted for many, many years among the Romans, in the Middle Ages, even today, countries with a monarchy. We hear of Spain, of England, of Denmark, of Sweden. Limited monarchies, but monarchies after all. Democracy and monarchy, democracy and aristocracy were already subjects of debate in ancient Greece. The Athenians particularly went for democracy, and that's why they still are remembered as part of the origin of Western civilization.